Pellet stove won't turn on? Before you spend a couple $100s on a new control board, let's learn more about how you can troubleshoot your current one to see if there is an easier fix. The control board is the brain of your stove, and every single one is different. Stick with me for a few minutes to learn what it does, what kills it, how to protect it, and when to reach for your owner's manual before you reach for your wallet, plus a few FAQs at the end that might surprise you. Unplug the stove. The control board handles full 120-volt line power. Every relay, every connector, every terminal on that board is part of the stove's electrical system. You'll be handling exposed circuits and wire connectors. Pull the cord from the wall, not the switch, the cord, and let the stove cool completely before you open any panels. Part 1. What it is and how it works. The brain behind every function your stove performs. Meet the control board. You'll also see it called the circuit board, the main board, the PCB, or the logic board. It's a printed circuit board mounted inside the stove, usually behind a service panel on the back or side. Every function your stove performs runs through this board. Ignition sequence, pellet feed rate, blower speeds, temperature monitoring, error codes, safety shutoffs, all of it. Every stove's control board is different. Your owner's manual is the single most important tool for this part. It will tell you all the specifics about your board. 4 things to know on the board. Number 1, the microcontroller. That's the chip that runs the program. Ignition timing, feed rate logic, safety sequences. Number 2, the relays. Small switches that send power to your motors. One for the auger, one for the exhaust blower, one for the igniter, one for the distribution blower. When a relay fails, that component stops getting power. Number 3, the fuse. A small glass or ceramic cylinder that protects the board from surges. Cheapest part on the board, and the first thing to check when the stove goes dead. Number 4, the connector plugs. Every wire harness in your stove plugs into this board. Loose, corroded, or melted connectors mean lost signals. Part 2, common failures. The 2 things that take control boards down. 2 killers. Number 1, power surges. Lightning strikes, brownouts, voltage spikes from your utility. Any of them can fry components on the board instantly. A single surge can take out a relay, blow the fuse, or burn a trace on the circuit board. This is the number 1 killer, and it's completely preventable. Number 2, heat cycling. The board sits inside a stove that heats up and cools down hundreds of times a season. That thermal stress cracks solder joints. Capacitors dry out. Relays wear from thousands of on-off cycles. After 8 to 12 years, components start failing one by one. Here's what most people miss. When the stove goes completely dead, no lights, no display, no response. The first instinct is to order a new control board. But before you do that, pull the board and check the fuse. It's a glass or ceramic cylinder about an inch long. If the filament is broken or the glass is blackened, that's your problem. A replacement fuse costs a few dollars. Match the amperage rating stamped on the old one. Your owner's manual will list it. You just saved yourself $150. Part 3, maintenance tips. 3 habits that protect the brain of your stove. Habit number 1, plug into a surge protector. Not a power strip, a surge protector with a joule rating of at least 1,000. The control board is the most expensive single part in most pellet stoves. A $30 surge protector is cheap insurance against a $200 board replacement. Plug the stove into the surge protector into the wall, and replace it every 3 to 5 years. The protection wears out over time, even if the indicator light still shows green. Habit number 2, inspect your wire connections once a year. End of heating season. With the stove unplugged and cool, open the service panel and look at every connector on the board. 3 things to look for: corrosion, green or white buildup on the pins; discoloration, darkened or melted plastic around a connector; and looseness, a plug that wiggles when you touch it. Clean corroded pins with electrical contact cleaner and reseat every plug firmly. 5 minutes could save you a season of intermittent shutdowns. Habit number 3, photograph your board before you touch anything. If you ever need to swap the board, you need to know exactly where every wire goes. Take a photo of the full board with all connectors plugged in, close-up of any jumper positions or DIP switch settings. If your board has trim pots for feed rate adjustment, note the position. Every board is wired differently. A photo takes 5 seconds and saves you an hour of guessing during reinstallation. Store it in your phone with your data plate photo. Part 4, troubleshooting tips. 3 symptoms and what each one means. And remember, your owner's manual has error codes specific to your stove. Use it. Symptom number 1, stove is completely dead. No lights on the control panel. No display. Press start and nothing happens. First, Check that the outlet has power. Plug in a lamp. If the outlet works, unplug the stove and check the fuse on the control board. If it's blown, replace it with the same amperage rating. Your owner's manual will tell you what it is. If the new fuse blows immediately, there's a short somewhere downstream. That's a technician call. If the fuse is fine and the board still won't power on, the board itself is likely dead. Symptom number 2. Error codes or blinking lights on the display. The stove powers on but shows a code or flashing pattern, and it won't run. This is actually a good sign. The board is telling you what's wrong. But here's the critical part. Error codes are different for every manufacturer and sometimes every model. A blinking red light on an Englander means something completely different than on a Harman. Do not guess. Open your owner's manual and look up the exact code for your exact model. If you've lost your manual, most manufacturers post them as free PDFs on their website. Search your brand and model number. Symptom number 3. The stove starts the ignition cycle but shuts down before reaching operating temperature. The igniter fires, pellets start feeding, but a few minutes in the stove kills the cycle and throws an error. The board is running its startup sequence, but one of its sensor checks is failing. Could be the vacuum switch not confirming draft. Could be the proof of fire sensor not detecting flame in time. Each of these is a sensor problem, not necessarily a board problem. Check those components first. Consult your owner's manual for the ignition sequence and sensor requirements for your specific model. Replace the board only after you've ruled out every sensor it talks to. Part 5. FAQs. 3 questions I hear about control boards more than any other part. Can I use a universal or aftermarket control board? Almost never. Control boards are the most model-specific part in a pellet stove. The ignition timing, feed rate logic, sensor calibration, and safety interlocks are all programmed for that exact stove. A board from a different model, even the same manufacturer, can run the auger too fast, skip safety checks, or refuse to talk to your sensors. Always match the board to your exact manufacturer and model number. Your owner's manual or data plate will have the part number. Don't gamble with the brain of your stove. How do you know what the error codes mean? Your owner's manual. Every manufacturer uses a different code system. Some use numbered codes on an LCD display. Some use blinking LED patterns, 2 blinks, pause, 3 blinks. Some use colored lights. There is no universal pellet stove error code chart. If you've lost your manual, go to the manufacturer's website and download the PDF. Search your brand name plus model number, plus the word manual. It's almost always free. Bookmark it, print it, tape it to the back of the stove. That manual is worth more than any forum post when your stove throws a code at 2 in the morning. Should I repair the board or just replace it? Replace it. Board level repair, resoldering components, swapping individual capacitors or relays requires specialized tools and the ability to diagnose exactly which component failed. Even if you find the bad part, a cold solder joint can create an intermittent fault that's impossible to track down. A new board comes tested, with fresh components and a known good program. Match it to your exact model. Swap the connectors 1 for 1 using the photo from maintenance tip 3, and you're back up and running. Leave board level repair for someone with an electronics bench. Before you order anything, and this matters more for control boards than any other part, find your data plate, manufacturer, model, serial number. Control boards are not interchangeable. A board for one model will not work in a closely related model, even if they look nearly identical. Most pellet stoves have the data plate bolted to the back panel. Some put it inside the hopper lid. A few tuck it on the inside of the firebox door. Snap a photo with your phone. That's what we'll need to match your board. Then head to the website. Pick your manufacturer. Pick your model. Every part on that page is guaranteed to fit your stove. No guessing, no cross-referencing, no wrong part returns. Find your control board, and while you're there, grab a spare fuse if you don't already have one. We'll ship it same day. That's part 8 of pellet stove parts. Control boards, replacement fuses, and wire harness connectors. All in stock, matched to your model. Free shipping over $99, 90-day warranty on every part, and 15+ years behind the same counter. Link in the description. Subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll see you next part.